Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of December 4th. So this week on December 7th, 8th, we have the full moon. This full moon falls in the sign of Gemini. Couple of things going on with this full moon. Firstly, I find this full moon very, very difficult to understand, analyze, feel into. And usually when that happens, it's because we are being asked to get out of our head and into our bodies, into our heart, into our intuition. And I think that is the struggle a little bit with this full moon for me. It's falling in Gemini, which is an air sign, which is very mental, very in our heads. But I think with this full moon, if you're feeling that clutter, you're feeling that confusion, that is your reminder, your sign to drop in to your intuition. Neptune is very active under this full moon, and Neptune can sometimes create that cloudiness, that fogginess, that confusion, but it does that in our external world. So we are forced to go in to our internal world. And there is also a lot of very internal energy with this full moon. Full moons are always a wonderful time for release work, but there's something about this full moon where it's almost like we need to sit with the things that we want to release a little longer. We may not be able to release how we want to release. There might be more work for us to do with the things that we're holding on to. We may have to sit with things a little bit longer. There just feels to be a bit of sticky energy around this full moon that's just asking us to take our time to really, maybe there's more wisdom for us where we currently are. So if you're feeling that urge to release and really, really let go for it. But if it's not working and you're still finding that you're holding on to stuff and stuff's coming back to you like a magnet, maybe there's more work to do. Maybe there's a little more acceptance you can bring that, okay, this thing's here. All right, what do I need? What wisdom can I acquire from it? What do I need to learn from it? So yes, full moon's always a good time to cleanse, always a good time to release. But I almost feel like we get more power from this full moon by focusing on reflection. And you might be doing that anyway. It's the end of the year. Maybe you're reflecting on the year gone by, all the things, awesome things that you did. I'm sure you did lots of awesome things, all the things that maybe you didn't get to do. That energy of reflection is very strong this time of year anyway. So this full moon will be helping you to reflect, to sit with things, to celebrate things, to ponder on things, to think about, what you might do differently, how you can celebrate all the things that you did achieve. It carries a very reflective energy. And if you want to work deeper with that and you want to use that reflective energy, I have a ritual for you. As always, you can find it at foreverconscious.com. I'll drop a link below. It helps you just to reflect on the year and to work with the beautiful energy of this full moon so you can sort of do some self-care, practice some self-love. December is a very busy, busy month. I feel like it all just kind of gets away from you a little bit. So use this full moon time, use this ritual to just carve out a little time for yourself to do something for you. So let's see. The other energy around this full moon is Mars retrograde. Mars retrograde is very, very active under this full moon as well. And that's why this full moon carries a little bit of heated energy. We also have a lot of planets in fire signs at this time too, but that Mars is very, very active with this full moon. Mars is also in Gemini at the moment, so we're just getting that very, very strong energy. And Mars retrograde gets us to question our motivations, how we're choosing to spend our energy. Mars also rules over our heated emotions like fear, like anger, frustration. So some of that might come up for you around this full moon. That Mars retrograde energy may be triggered for you. Whenever a planet goes retrograde, its energy is drawing us in. So if we think about all of this, we're really being asked to go within. Mars retrograde can sometimes create this feeling of one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back. So if you're feeling that, know that it's just part of the cycle that we're in. And it's a sign that you kind of have to be patient and maybe go within and maybe think about, okay, what are my motivations? What's really driving me here? How am I choosing to spend my energy around this situation? Can I spend it in a better way? So that sort of questioning, if you're feeling that one step forward, two steps back, may come up as well. And also just kind of needing to be patient. Mars retrograde ends on January 12th, so we're almost getting to the end of that energy. But before we can do that, before we get to the end of that energy, Mercury also goes retrograde, and that happens at the end of December, on December 29th. So lots of retrograde energy about to come in. And so when that happens, we really kind of have to match the universe and try to also slow down and, get into that inner state, get into that reflective state. Otherwise, we can really feel off balance. So even though December is a busy month, try to create some space. If you don't want to say no, yes to something, say no. Try to create a little bit of space for yourself to be able to slow down, to not have to do so much. Because especially as we get to the end of the month with both of those retrograde planets together, we're really going to be encouraged to be slow, be patient. We'll really be feeling that one step forward, two steps back. So try not to overfill your plate with things, especially as we get to the end of the month. Try to carve out some time for rest, and hopefully, depending where you are and what industry you're in, that's easy. You can take a break from work. It's a little bit easier at that time of year because people celebrate the holidays, and maybe you can get a little bit of a break at that time. All right, so I hope that's helpful. I hope I made sense. Lots of full moon energy coming in this week. It is a charged full moon. It's not going to feel as heavy as that blood moon eclipse we had last month in November. Could it trigger things a little bit? Yes, it has a very triggering energy, this full moon. But again, know that your power is reflection, reflecting on the deeper roots of what's triggering you, the deeper roots of those heated emotions that are coming up, and trying as much as possible to stay out of the head and to move from a more intuitive, gut-centered place. Your second brain is in the gut, so try to work from that intelligence under this full moon as much as possible. All right, I hope that's helpful. Don't forget, you can find more at foreverconscious.com on the full moon, your full moon ritual. And if you would like to stay up to date with the full moons, new moons, retrogrades, and all of that for 2023, get my moon calendar. It's on Etsy. I'll drop a link below. And also I have books, so if you'd love to read them, I have astrology books, I have general spirituality books. They make awesome gifts. I'll drop a link below in the description box where you can check out all my books. And have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care, and I'll see you next week.